Robert De Niro, a Hollywood legend with memorable roles and great influence, is currently facing unprecedented challenges in his career. From legal troubles to strong political views, has his career been seriously affected? And is De Niro ready to give up after all these difficulties? Find out in today's video and discover the surprising things behind De Niro's decisions. The never-ending confrontation. The strained relationship between De Niro and Trump began in 2011, before Trump even ran for president. In interviews and public events, De Niro criticized Trump for actions and views that he considered irresponsible and unbecoming of a national leader. De Niro called Trump a fool and a man unfit to lead this country. These statements made De Niro one of the most vocal critics of Trump in the entertainment industry. De Niro criticized Trump not only for his personality and leadership style, but also for the political views he expressed during the campaign. Trump's hardline policies, especially on immigration and national security, made De Niro feel concerned about the future of the country. De Niro's view of Trump as someone lacking in morals and proper leadership is evident in his statements about Trump, including one time when De Niro emphasized that Trump was not qualified to run the government and was damaging America's reputation in the international arena. When Donald Trump officially became president in 2017, the relationship between him and De Niro became even more tense. De Niro constantly criticized the Trump administration and the political decisions it made. Specifically, in an interview on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, De Niro condemned Trump's policies, calling him a fraud and thug, strong words to express dissatisfaction. Not only stopping at criticism in interviews, but De Niro also showed an uncompromising attitude towards Trump in public events. At the 2018 Tony Awards, De Niro took the stage and bluntly declared, Trump, a shocking statement at a major event that received applause from the audience, but also caused a lot of controversy. This statement was the clearest demonstration of De Niro's hatred for the US president at that time. This was not the first time De Niro expressed strong opposition to Trump at public events, and it would not be the last. What made the relationship between De Niro and Trump even more tense was the strong words that De Niro said about Trump in interviews and television shows. In a conversation with a host, De Niro did not hesitate to declare that he would punch Trump in the face if given the chance. This was a shocking statement and caused many people to discuss the level of anger De Niro had towards the president at that time. Although this statement was somewhat strong and could be misinterpreted, it also reflected the extreme disappointment that De Niro felt about Trump's actions and words. For De Niro, he felt that Trump was not only a weak leader, but also a symbol of division in American society. Trump's statements made De Niro feel that he needed to speak out strongly to protect the values that he considered important to the country. De Niro, through his influence, has become one of the most outspoken and public critics of Trump. However, while De Niro has made clear his political views, he is not the only one in the entertainment industry to express his opposition to Trump. Throughout Trump's tenure, many other artists, filmmakers, and actors have also criticized him for his policies and actions. It is worth noting that, despite his many criticisms of Trump, De Niro has always been steadfast in his views on respecting the fundamental values of American democracy, freedom, equality, and humanity. For De Niro, his resistance is not simply a personal criticism of Trump, but a fight to defend the cultural, human rights, and political values that he believes are necessary to maintain a united and progressive America. While Robert De Niro has been a force on the political stage with his outspoken opposition to Donald Trump, behind the scenes, he is facing an even tougher battle within his career. What does the lawsuit against former assistant Graham Chase Robinson reveal about the true De Niro? Is this just a professional misunderstanding, or a sign of an empire slowly crumbling from within. Legal incidents and allegations. Throughout his illustrious career, Robert De Niro has been a Hollywood icon with a long list of notable roles and significant contributions to the arts. However, a recent legal incident involving a lawsuit filed by his former assistant has put De Niro at the center of serious allegations and raised questions about his public image. Graham Chase Robinson, a former assistant to Robert De Niro, has filed a lawsuit alleging harassment and other inappropriate behavior that she claims occurred during her time working with De Niro. Robinson worked with De Niro for many years, first as his assistant and later as a senior executive at De Niro's film production company, Tribeca Productions. However, as their relationship became strained, Robinson decided to file a lawsuit, accusing De Niro of inappropriate workplace conduct. In the lawsuit, Robinson recounted several incidents in which she alleged that De Niro had harassed her. She accused De Niro of inappropriate behavior, ranging from disrespectful words to inappropriate behavior at work. In particular, Robinson claimed that De Niro had engaged in unprofessional behavior, including using rude language and gestures, as well as asking her to engage in uncomfortable situations that crossed the line in the workplace. The lawsuit attracted a lot of media and public attention, especially since it involved a big star like De Niro. In response to these allegations, De Niro denied all the allegations. He claimed that Robinson had engaged in inappropriate behavior and counter-accused her of violating the company's work and ethics policies. De Niro and his lawyers argued that Robinson's allegations were inaccurate and lacked legal merit. Throughout the trial, De Niro's legal team attempted to clarify the facts, but the case dragged on and became an integral part of the debate about how powerful people handle work relationships. Although Robert De Niro has denied all allegations, the lawsuit has still had a major impact on his reputation in the eyes of the public. For a star who was once admired for his talent and great career, the allegations of harassment have somewhat diminished the trust of a segment of fans and those working in the film industry. De Niro's reputation has suffered a major blow when this lawsuit came to light. Previously, he had always been considered a symbol of work ethic and respect for colleagues. However, this lawsuit has raised doubts about how De Niro treats those who work with him, especially when allegations of harassment and inappropriate behavior in the workplace arise in an environment that is expected to be professional and respect ethical standards. The lawsuit also highlights issues of power and how celebrities and powerful people in the entertainment industry can influence the workplace. Many fear that such incidents may be part of a larger trend in the film industry, where allegations of harassment and abuse of power are becoming a growing problem that needs to be addressed. As such, the lawsuit does not just affect one individual, but also raises major questions about safety and fairness in entertainment workplaces. Graham Chase Robinson's lawsuit has not only shocked De Niro's fans, but has also attracted widespread attention from the media and public. Major newspapers and television shows have reported on the case, and each time it appears, the lawsuit becomes a controversial topic in the entertainment industry. Notably, the incident occurred in the context of movements such as #MeToo, which are increasingly spreading and demanding recognition of women's rights in the workplace. Although De Niro has tried to protect his reputation, public opinion still cannot help but make assessments and consider the seriousness of these allegations. The public not only sees De Niro as an artist, but also as a model of success in the film industry. Therefore, these allegations have created a large gap between De Niro's image and the fans who have idolized him for many years. But as the personal drama and legal battles have died down, a bigger question has emerged. Are the upheavals in his personal life, combined with the political turmoil, making De Niro less of a tough guy? A man once ready to punch the president in the face, now he's wary of political questions. What has made an icon of resistance like Robert De Niro more reserved or even jaded? To understand that, we need to look deeper into his shifting political views, a shift that reflects both the inner self of the individual and the current state of America. A shift in political views. Robert De Niro, throughout his career spanning more than half a century, has been known not only for his brilliant acting, but also as an artist with a clear and consistent political stance. He once stated that he always believed in integrity, compassion, and social justice, and these values have become the guiding principles for both his personal life and his artistic choices. However, in recent years, as America has entered a period of division and chaos, even a steadfast person like De Niro has begun to question the meaning of those values in a rapidly changing society. In a Zoom interview, he once admitted, "I am not hopeless, but I do not understand why some people see things with completely different values." At 80, when he should be resting on his reputation and legacy, De Niro still struggles with the question, does kindness and empathy still have a place in American public life? In an increasingly polarized America, especially in the wake of Donald Trump, De Niro has become one of the rare voices in the arts who is unafraid to confront power head-on. But at the same time, he acknowledges his growing helplessness in the face of a society that is losing its capacity for dialogue. "We need a big change, but I don't know if we can do it," De Niro says, a remarkable admission from someone who once believed that art and public speaking could make a difference. That frustration is not simply a political reaction. It is also a manifestation of a generation that has seen America transform from post-Vietnam to Watergate to terrorism to unprecedented divisions over race, gender, and power. De Niro is not just worried about the present, he is worried about the future for his children and for the values he once believed were immutable. Still, he tries to hold on to a shred of hope. "I just have to look at things in a positive light," De Niro says slowly and deliberately at the end of the interview. But it is a weary optimism, like the last old knight standing in the line of battle when his comrades have fallen or turned away. Despite his many public displays of fatigue and his thoughts of retreating from political debate, Robert De Niro has not completely abandoned his belief in the power of art. Is he choosing to speak out through his acting instead of speaking out in real life? Perhaps his next project, 0 Day, is a testament to how De Niro continues his fight, but in a different, more profound and haunting form. Why De Niro calls for a quit? Throughout his decades-long career, Robert De Niro has been known not only as a brilliant actor with countless memorable roles, but also as a strong voice on social and political issues. However, in recent years, as America has witnessed increasingly clear waves of political polarization, the veteran actor has expressed deep fatigue, both mentally and emotionally, in dealing with the country's troubling political realities. De Niro shared that, although he has always believed in using his voice and influence to fight for human values such as fairness, tolerance, and empathy, he has begun to feel that those efforts are increasingly hopeless. "There are times when I wonder, am I speaking into a void? Are my calls reaching anyone?" he exclaimed in a recent interview. Witnessing America's spiral into division, verbal violence, and political radicalization, especially during the Donald Trump presidency, has left him feeling disoriented. "I can't continue to fight people who don't understand kindness and empathy," he says bitterly. His words not only reflect the weariness of an artist who once believed so much in the power of art and the individual voice, but also his frustration with a society that he sees as increasingly closed to fundamental human values. De Niro has always been a man of strong moral principles and social positions, from supporting immigrant rights, opposing racism, to being outspoken in his criticism of divisive policies and rhetoric. But he has admitted that the current climate has caused him to question his beliefs. "We need a big change, but I don't know if we can do it," he has said, an admission of personal helplessness amid a turbulent social storm. Despite struggling with feelings of withdrawal, De Niro continues to be present in film projects. One of his most important projects at the moment is 0 Day, a political miniseries produced by Netflix, scheduled to be released on February 20, 2025. In 0 Day, De Niro plays George Mullen, a former US president who is called back into politics to investigate a mysterious cyber attack that causes widespread chaos and thousands of deaths. De Niro once shared in an interview that he did not have to act too much for this role because he brought himself, with all his worries, doubts, and aspirations to correct mistakes, into the character of George Mullen. This shows that 0 Day is not just another role in his massive career, but also a kind of narrative, a sincere confession from a person who once deeply believed in the transformative power of politics, but is now gradually losing hope. The content of 0 Day also inevitably evokes the very situation that De Niro once spoke out against: information manipulation, the collapse of public trust, and the breakdown of trust in leaders. The messages in the film, from the question, "Who is behind the truth?" to "How do you heal a country that has lost faith in itself?" are all things that De Niro wants the audience to ponder after watching. 0 Day may be De Niro's final answer to the world, a declaration that he's still present, still caring, and still fighting, but this time, he's letting his art speak for him. The question is De Niro truly ready to step back from the spotlight, or is this just a necessary step back for him to re-energize and come back stronger in a new role, perhaps behind the camera, or as a producer and artistic advisor? What do you think? Is De Niro tired, or is he looking for a new way to continue to spread his message? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. We would love to hear from you. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more interesting updates.